Hello everyone, welcome back. It is about time we go back to our original project of setting up local AI assistant or AI waifu. So in my previous video, I've gone through how to set up your local LLM and how do we start the local LLM in our local machine. Furthermore, we also went through the optimization of your local LLM model with the proper configuration. With this setup, we can now almost start our AI project. So before that, we need to install OpenCode. This is actually a coding agent that will help us to write code in creating our client program. This is because for non-IT background or non-technical personnel, we do not know how to write codes. Therefore, we require the AI to help us in writing our AI assistant. And since we are already deploying our own local LLM, why not we use that LLM to help us write our code? In other words, we are using our LLM model to develop itself into a AI assistant. So first we'll look at the component of an AI assistant. So in an AI assistant, we have three main things. One is the ASR, which is your automatic speech recognition. So it will take input of your voice and convert them into text, which will then be sent to your LLM model for text processing. So once the LLM has processed your text and generated a response in text, it will then send to the TTS, which is the text to speech, which will then convert into a voice and response to you in a voice recording. And in the middle of all of this, we have also the avatar. So this depends on whether if you need a visual for your AI assistant or not. If you would like to interact with a visual AI waifu, so you want to create an avatar for your AI waifu. And in this case, whether if we also need to include movement for your avatar, and whether if we need to include emotion as well. Right, so these are the things that we need to look into. And all of these are actually included in the client program that we need to write. It was split into different parts. So first, we will actually write a base client program, and then we will create or implement the ASR. Then we will look into your TTS. For LLM model, we have already deployed this. This is already done. For Avatar, we will also implement in the next stage after TTS. But of course, before everything, we have to install OpenCode. So this will be our coding agent that we will use to write this client program. So to install OpenCode, we will go to OpenCode AI, and here you can find a command to install OpenCode depending on the OS you're running. But in this case, I'm going to use npm. So I'm going to copy this, then I'm going to open my command prompt, and I'll paste this command in and run. Okay, so now you can see the package added. We can run OpenCode, and it should run OpenCode, yes. But before we start using the OpenCode, we have to set up the provider in the configuration file. So we will go to Documents, we go to Providers, and here we can see Llama CVP. So in this Llama CVP, we will see that the configuration that we need to add to the OpenCode JSON file in order to use our local Llama server as the LLM model. So you can navigate to this directory under your C drive user.config OpenCode. Here you will find the OpenCode JSON file which you can open, and here you will see this is what it is inside the JSON file, and we do have to copy these details, and then we will paste it in, make some slight adjustment. Okay. So after you have copied the details into the JSON file, what we do need to update is our model. So what model are we using? You can update to the model you are using. In this case, I'm using Qwen 3.635B. And then here we can also update the name. local, and then the context size you want to provide and the output size you're expecting. And for this server, it has to be the server that you're hosting your Llama server. So to get our local LLM server details, we will run the startup script for our LLM model. So once the server is started, you can see your server is listening on the IP address and the port number, and this has to match the one in your text file. So once you have confirmed the details, you can then save, and that's all you need to do. Also, don't forget to add a comma here. Okay, so once everything is done, you save, and then we can go back to our Visual Studio. So in our Visual Studio, we open a new terminal. You will go to the directory you want to run OpenCode in. So we can then run OpenCode. It should open up, and here you can actually see the model that you have added, which is here, Llama Server Local. So this is the model that we added. We can select this model, and now we can actually communicate to our model through OpenCode. Here you can see your server is receiving the response from OpenCode. And you can see we are getting the response. So now we have already set up OpenCode with local LLM. Next, we will look at implementing our client program with ASR. That will be for the next video. So that's all for this video. If you like my content, please like, kindly subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.